Hey everyone, we are here for another edition of Inside the World of Real Estate. And I have such an amazing friend and colleague that we have today. And it's my friend Jaimie from Bergen County, New Jersey. So, Jaimie, tell us all about you and all about Bergen County, New Jersey.
Okay. Well, hello. And I'll say my name is Jaimie Yannalfo. Not everybody knows how to pronounce my last name. I live in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, and my Keller Williams office is in Ridgewood. So most of the business that I do is in the Bergen County area. I got started in real estate in 2003 after a career in television as a producer for MSNBC.
I love that. Let's dig into that a little bit.
Okay.
How did you get into TV? That's kind of cool.
Well, it was always like my life dream is to
Okay.
be on TV, right? So growing
Okay.
up, I thought I was going to be an actress. Maybe, I did some commercials as a kid, and went to college for communications. And I like interned with NBC and when I went to Albany. And then when I graduated, it was really hard to get a job in television. So I actually started, I was a radio reporter. And
Okay.
when I first got out of college, so I grew up in Rockland County in New York. It's a suburb of New York City.
Yes.
And I went to Albany, and everybody in Albany is from Long Island. So I literally got out of college and I talked like this, oh my God, my name is
I'm from
Jaimie.
Long Island, and we have a
Yeah,
sister and a mother and a brother and a dog.
yeah,
There you go. Got
exactly.
it.
So I talk like that. And so going on radio, I had to really learn how to clean up my accent. So I really worked hard on that. But anyway, I wound up getting like meeting somebody that got me a job interview for a little small network called America's Talking. And I got hired. I was there for only maybe like 6 months, and they were folding, and MSNBC was launching. And I got hired with them to be part of their launch team, which was really amazing. And yeah, I never made it like on TV, but I actually love being behind the scenes. I got to meet some really amazing people and
Yeah,
travel and cover some really amazing stories.
that's incredible. So that like
Yeah.
it's so funny because everyone has a story and you really don't know. You just think that they're in real estate, but everyone
Yeah.
has such a great story behind how they got into real estate. So what made you come into real estate? Like what did you
I,
decide? Or how did you decide?
well, I guess I decided when I was pregnant with my second child, I left the television business. It was really a lot. I loved what I was doing, and I was doing a work share there. And so I worked 3 days and somebody else worked two, but new management came in and they took it away from us. And I knew like I could not be a full time producer and be a mom. It just something was not going to work out. So I left and I was, home for a bit and had my second child. And then I kept getting these postcards in the mail from this really successful realtor. Like she did it again. She sold another one. And I just felt like, I don't know, maybe this is like a sign. So I reached out to her and said, I keep getting your postcards. I'm not sure if I want to really be a real estate agent, but I love people. Maybe we can figure something out. So I started working with her, like assisting her with her business. I was called a client care coordinator. And from
I can
there, I
definitely see you starting there. I definitely can see you with your personality. Someone's bringing you in. I would have reeled you in 2 seconds too because of your personality and
yeah,
how
I
you
was
feel
helping
about
like,
your
but
clients.
but she sort of like it was interesting because I think that, I became her buyer's agent, but she always sort of kept me like in a box, right? She didn't want to teach me the full. Um,
Oh,
maybe because she thought, that I could succeed her or something. I don't know. And I loved working with her. Like I would have worked with her to this day, if we had sort of been able to grow together, but there was a lot of limitation. And, another reason I got into real estate was when I bought and sold my first homes with my
Mhm.
first husband. We
Yeah.
had we had really bad realtors. The first one let us down, the second one let us down. And I really thought to myself, like, there has to be a better way. Like, someone is
Yeah.
trusting you with the biggest purchase of their life. And they
Yes.
really deserve to have an agent that's there with them, like from start to finish. And we
Yes.
were kind of dropped by both at the end, and it wasn't good.
Definitely
So,
not good because especially when you have such a bad experience and then you get into real estate and you are giving your clients top-notch, you
yeah,
know, surprise and delight type situations. So I just love that's a great story. Not that you had like a terrible agent, but it
yeah,
just made you seem like, well, if she can do it, I can do it 100%
like
better.
that.
So there you
Yeah.
go.
And then the agent I worked with, like people, I was with her for a long time, and people would say to me, "How are you working with her? Like you're reachable, you're kind, you're approachable, like, you're communicative." And we called her the secret agent. She never gave out her cell number to people, and she was always whispering, and it was just like it was different. So, but you know what, you learn from that. Like, I
Of
really feel
course.
like I learned from a lot of people of like what works and what doesn't, right? And I
Right.
listened to what the clients were saying and the other realtors, because it was the other realtors that were saying to me, like, why are you with her? You know?
So then you went out on your own, and that's what you are now, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
been doing that. Okay.
I did work with my husband for a while. We were partners. We were a husband and wife team for a long time. But then, after a while, it sort of became like I felt like we didn't have any life outside of our work. We were just
It's really
everything was
hard.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what does your husband
So
do now?
he's retired.
There you go. See,
Well,
love it, right?
he's actually Mary Ellen, my ex-husband, but we date each other now. So that's a whole other story.
Oh my goodness, that's another story. But anyway, having a great relationship, and I can see how you're a people person. You are just wanting to have them have the best experience in the transaction. So I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we talked about what areas you serviced. Tell us about your city and what kind of properties do you sell? Because I love I mean, it's so beautiful in northern New Jersey.
It is really beautiful here. I do a lot of luxury. I didn't always, I did a lot of, um, for a long time, it was a lot of condos, townhomes, smaller homes. But in the last few years, I've really broken into the luxury business here in Franklin Lakes, Wyckoff, Ridgewood, all these surrounding areas, which is really nice. I mean, it doesn't mean that that's all I do, because I genuinely love working with first time buyers. It to
I
me
know,
is
me too. Isn't it crazy?
oh,
Like I like the small, like the in between. I don't like as much as the top.
yeah,
That's interesting you
there
say that.
it's
Mhm.
like a trust. It's like you've got this young couple or single person or whoever it is that are really trusting you. They're relying on you to lead them in the right direction and help them and get to that first home. So I really do love that. I also do a lot of divorce. I'm a CDRE, which is certified
Yeah.
divorce
Mhm.
real estate expert. And I broke into that, I guess, after getting divorced.
Well, you
My
have the
divorce.
experience and then you have the compassion and then you know how the process works. So
Yeah.
sometimes that I think that's a great idea. Like I went through a divorce many, many years ago, so I understand that the process. And it's
Yeah.
funny how you attract that kind of stuff because you've been through it and you know how to process it and you know how the
Right.
process works. So that's
Yeah.
that's a big thing for your
It's
client.
it is. And I mean, sometimes it's like you're like, "Oh my God, like I can't even I don't
Yeah.
even know how to react to this," right? And what I tell a lot of people, because I recently taught a class in my office, or I did a, panel discussion with a divorce attorney, and I told people, like, you sometimes get a text message by one of them and you're like your mind is blown, right? And you just want to text them back like, "Oh my God, like what up, blah, 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 blah," right? You can't send that because A, you can't
Right.
really put anything in writing. Two, you cannot show any sort of uh, you have to be completely unbiased, right?
Yes,
So
it's hard.
um,
It's hard sometimes.
it is,
And you got to
it is,
communicate with both parties and the attorney and everybody else. So there's like, it's like 25 people that are involved, it seems like.
yeah,
So sometimes it feels like you just have to be really great with your communication and your processes in order to make sure everyone's in the loop on everything, you know.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
easier now. You can just do group text messages, you know what I
Well, you
mean? Or
can't do
group,
groups to them, right? You can't
right,
text unless it's a really amicable divorce and
right,
they say we're
exactly.
okay with being on a group or being on a group email, or
You're gonna do
otherwise you're really just
individually.
copy pasting.
Yes,
And
and that's what it is, and that was the whole thing is when I do a lot of divorces too, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna communicate and send the text message at the same time to each party, find their reactions, come back, then go back to them. Okay, I think we all agree upon this point. Let's go to the next point. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's definitely you have to have a lot of skill to be able to deal with those type of situations.
You do, and you really have to also align yourself with a very good real estate attorney that is patient and good with that, because not every single one is, because we're an attorney state. So
You two are as well. Mhm.
yeah.
Now, do the buyers and sellers both have attorneys or just
Yes.
one attorney? Okay, so
Both.
in Georgia, we have one attorney, and actually the attorney represents the lender, or if it's a cash deal, the buyer. Isn't that
Wow. And
interesting? Yeah.
I think that's actually would make things easier, because sometimes the two attorneys just act like such like
Yes, they go
jerks
back
with
and
each
forth
other.
and back and forth and back and forth. So you're juggling a lot of stuff in real estate. And
Yeah.
like, I think all of our viewers need to know too that every state has different laws. And you're an
Yes.
attorney state, we're an attorney state, but even though we're attorney states, we do things totally different than you do. So it's really, really
Yeah.
interesting the process. And
And we don't even understand, like when we hear that somebody can actually make an offer and close on a house like 5 days later, like what? I mean, our average is 60 days,
I know,
and and we're sort of like praying for the 60.
yeah, and ours is more like 3 weeks from like 21 to 30.
Oh,
It's like amazing, like how
amazing.
fast you can do things in Georgia. So anyway, so yeah, on our little tangent on that. So
Yep.
tell us, so you do, luxury properties, you do condos, you do townhouses. How's
Yeah.
the market there? Is things very tight, inventory low?
Yeah, we still have really low inventory. So we still have multiple offers on most of the properties. There are some that don't. Sometimes you're just getting one. Some sellers are just getting really, really greedy. So they're starting their home price, their homes too high. And if you do that, you really do lose that. Um, you lose the ability to get a multiple offer and bidding up deal if you start too high. You're really better off to start a little lower here. But yeah, the inventory's low. The buyers are, really having a hard time with it all. But
Yes.
I'm hoping now that the interest rates dropped a little bit last week, that we start to see a little more inventory coming on the market.
And it's getting towards springtime too. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming you guys have a spring market like a lot of states do. Like in Georgia, we have our spring market starts earlier than yours. Yours probably because our kids get out of school in May, right? So
Oh, yeah.
so so we start a little earlier. So sometimes we're listing, properties for the spring market in January and February. We like to have them on in February,
Well,
no later
we
than
used
March.
to be like February, where we'd say to people, come on in February to beat the rush, to beat
Yes,
that.
makes
But
sense.
I will tell you, like, I don't think right now there's a bad time of year in this
No,
area to
it's
come on
kind
the
of
because
changed in the last 10 years where
yeah,
we're busy every single month. It's not like,
yeah,
oh, there's a spring market and there's this. But yes, there are some months that are slower because depending on the price point and is it a family home or, empty nesters or whatever. You just got to kind of look at the neighborhoods too as well.
yeah,
So we kind of have
yeah.
the same thing there. All right, so you sell anywhere from say 400,000 somebody can get in, right, for like a little
Very
condo or
hard to get
something.
in at this point for 400. I would
More like
say you're
5.
really like I'd say five is closer, right? And
Yes.
then um but my average right now would probably be eight to $900,000.
Okay.
I have a listing that's 2.75 right now. I
Right.
just went into contract with one that's like over two, like 2.3.
Yeah.
Um,
So like if you just wanted to buy like say like a 3 bedroom, 2 bath starter home in your area, well, how much
I
would
would
that
say
be?
that's probably about close to 600,000 right now.
Yeah. And that's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that in our area too.
And
So
more, and
yeah.
more. Yeah.
So
It's
that's, it's
it's
hard.
kind of
It's
crazy.
expensive. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. So we talked about average home prices and that's kind of stuff. Um, do you have most like desire? Like I think all of your areas are very desirable because you're so
Yeah.
close to New York City. But what are some of your favorite cities or neighborhoods that you work in and why?
Well, I mean, like, I think that, because of our close proximity to the city, you have certain towns in Bergen County that are train lines, right? That have a
Yes.
train. We don't have any direct trains into Manhattan, so all of our trains in Bergen either go from, your train center to Hoboken or Secaucus, and then you have to transfer. So Hoboken, you then take the path into the city,
Mhm.
or you take it to Secaucus and then that takes you to Penn Station.
Right.
Um, so I think when you're looking at that, and there are a lot of people that if they are a commuter, they want to be in Ridgewood, which has a train. It's a great town. It has
I love
amazing
Ridgewood.
restaurants.
I actually lived in Ridgewood for a little
Oh, you
bit.
did?
So yeah, I did because my daughter was born in Teaneck
Yeah.
at Holy Name
Okay.
Hospital. So we lived in
I lived in
Ridgewood when she was being born. So yeah, I love
Wow, that's where
Ridgewood.
yeah, I love it there too. I was just there this morning. My daughter was she had a doctor's appointment because she lives in Hoboken and
And
she
nice.
stayed over and then we had lunch. I mean, we had breakfast in Ridgewood before she took the train back.
Oh, that's
But
good.
it's great. There's just so much to do there. It's a really nice town. Glen Rock's another one. Ramsey's a great town. I love Ramsey. They have a train station. They have lots of restaurants and cute boutiques and stuff. Um, so those are some like really hot towns. Oradell is a really hot town right now. I didn't
Yeah,
even realize it until I started working with a first time buyers and we just got creamed in a bidding war. But um yeah, so
yeah.
yeah, I mean
So why are
there's
people
nothing
moving
bad.
to your area? Exactly. Why
What?
are people moving to your area and where are they moving from?
Well, I would say they're definitely not moving from like south, right? Because
Definitely not.
if they're moving, I would say they're moving out of Manhattan.
Yes.
They
Okay.
are moving out of Hoboken or Jersey City,
Okay.
because maybe they're, a young family and now they're like looking to have some more space. They want
Thanks.
really
Yeah.
good schools because they don't want to have that city life for their kids. So they'd rather
Yes.
have more suburban. We have great schools. Not every, the schools are obviously each town is a little different.
Sure.
Um, we have just beautiful like places, parks and places to go hiking and um some towns have pools, some towns have lakes. So I think they're just moving to this area because they want a little bit more space. I think COVID really got a lot of people out of the city, and that's sort of where we started losing all this um, the inventory. The inventory was gone because everyone's leaving Manhattan, Jersey City, Hoboken, and we just
Sure.
didn't have enough homes for everybody.
Right.
And then
Right.
they get locked into then the people that have been there for a long time and are locked into these really low interest rates and they don't want to give up the interest rate. So,
Right.
there's a problem.
Yeah, that is,
But
I mean, and that is definitely a challenge when it comes to real estate and a challenge that you have to deal with every single day because you have
every single
clients
day.
that are moving from here and they have to kind of figure this all out. Um, so what industries are, I mean, I know you're so close to New York City, but are there any
Yeah.
industries in your area, worth talking about?
We have like like a pharmaceutical, one or two, but one
Mhm.
just closed down. I mean, obviously there's Amazons everywhere. They
Yeah.
are, I think, building a Netflix studio in
Oh,
Jersey.
cool. Yeah.
It's a little farther south, but I still think people are gonna maybe we'll get some people from that. But I think you really do have a lot of Wall Street people in my area. So you have
Yes,
Wall
I
Street,
would
you
say
have,
totally, totally Wall Street. I'm a Wall Street girl, but I was on the
yeah,
other side. I lived in Long Island, so I would commute to the city from Long Island. But I would say in your area and knowing your area well, that it's really a lot of people from Wall Street, people commuting the city.
yeah.
They want they want more space. They want a different lifestyle than the city, so they're moving to the
Yeah.
suburbs. So yeah,
I
I would
mean, you
definitely.
have a lot of fashion in the city. You have the wall, finance, and you have, Broadway, you have theater.
Oh,
So
I'm
people
so
want to
lucky.
be close to that. I mean, it's great. Like for me, I love going into the city and going to see shows, going for dinners, going for concerts. I mean, we have a lot of places to go see shows over the summer, when the weather's nice, like the MetLife Stadium
Sure.
down, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the one that's down by the shore?
Yes.
Um, yeah, so I think there's just a lot of nice things to do around here. And the life is good around here. Taxes, not so much, but
Yeah,
like
taxes. So let's talk about taxes. Is it like a certain percentage of, say you sell a $500,000 property? Is it a percentage of that, or how does your taxes? What would
I
you
mean,
say?
it's really all different. It depends on the town. So like there are certain
Towns
towns
have
that
their
are
own
known for
taxes
lower
on.
taxes than others. It depends on how much industry company is in a town.
Yes.
So Franklin Lakes is known for very big homes,
Yes.
um, large properties. Most properties are at least an acre, but low
Yes.
taxes. So, which is interesting because there's not a tremendous amount of industry there, but there is a very big company called Becton Dickerson. And so that brings a lot of revenue into the town.
Right. Right. So then it brings a lot of stuff like that. So yeah. So
But we
taxes,
say
yeah.
that's like Ridgewood, which has like all these stores and restaurants, their taxes are really high.
So interesting. There's
Yeah.
there's
So
no rhyme or reason. Yeah, we have it here too, where we have a county tax, and then the city puts another tax on top of it, but it's nothing
yeah.
like being in New York and New Jersey. So what's like the average commute to the city if you took a train? Just
It would probably be about close to an hour, I would say.
yeah,
If you're on an express train, um, maybe, from the city to, let's say, Hoboken or Secaucus, it's 10 minutes, right?
yeah,
But
and
then
then you
maybe
have to.
another, like anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes, depending on if you're a local or an express train. So, but I would say you give yourself about an hour, right? Because you're
Yeah,
then
and that's
transferring and yeah,
But you know what? You don't have to think about anything when you're on a train. You don't have
right.
to, like, when you're driving, like here in Atlanta, we don't really have trains. Everyone's driving everywhere, so there's so much
Yeah.
traffic. And I know there's a lot of traffic in New York too. Some people choose to drive to the city or whatever, but you do have
Yeah.
other options, which is really nice. And you just hop on the train, and you have to be early, right? You can't miss the train.
Yeah, it's funny because this morning, I had to get my daughter on, and so there was a specific train we really wanted to catch. So we're just like, all right, gotta go, like off we go. And then she's in the car waiting for it to pull up. As like, get out of the car, don't miss the train.
Don't miss
Otherwise,
that
I'll be here for
train.
like 20
Yeah.
minutes.
Otherwise you're gonna have to wait another time. So yeah, so I mean, you definitely have to be mindful of time
Yes,
when it comes
but
to
once you're
doing
on it,
things.
it's so relaxing. It's actually
Oh, I know, you
very,
just sit
very
on the
good.
train. I used to commute, and I loved it. It was great. And then I, like, here in Atlanta, all you are is driving, and you like don't want to drive during the traffic hours. You want to like make sure that you just kind of move things around. So
Yeah.
so
Well,
I
I've always been like a driver and I've always driven into the city and I never took the train. But then when my kids started doing it, I said, could you teach me? My
teach me
kids
how to
teach
take
me how
the
to do the
train.
train. And then when I took it for the first time by myself, I felt like such an adult. It's so corny to say that, but I'm texting my kids and I said, I'm doing it. I'm really taking the train by myself.
That's
Like,
awesome. That's
yay,
awesome.
mom.
Yay, mom. Good. So I think everybody understands that there's just so much to do in your area. You can
Yes.
go into New York, you can be in the suburbs, you've got all the, Broadway, and
Museums.
you have
We have
museums.
museums. I didn't even mention museums. I mean, we have museums. I mean, there's Chinatown and Little Italy and
You got
the
the picture, everything.
everything. Yeah. I mean, the city is just, I'm always amazed when I hear people haven't been to New York City, but that's kind of shallow on my side. Like, I shouldn't just say something like that because
Yeah.
I haven't been to Georgia. I mean, there's a lot of places I haven't been,
Right.
but I just think of Manhattan as like, doesn't everybody go to the city?
Right. Yeah. You just think of the city and like everyone should go to the city. And I just love going in just for a couple days and go see a couple plays and then get my fix of New York pizza and bagels and then come back
Mm,
home. So yeah.
yeah.
So I do like that. So tell us about the climate, like the climate, you see the four seasons and
Yeah,
how
we
cold does it
do.
really get, you know?
Our winters can be pretty cold. This was actually one of the snowiest winters that we've had in a while. We used to
Okay.
get tons of snow. Then there was a period of time where we really didn't get a lot of snow. We're getting a lot more rain than we used
Mhm.
to, I would
Okay.
say. And that's kind of the hard part of that is our houses that didn't always have this much rain. Homes that would never have gotten any water in them, some of them start to get that because
Whoa. Okay. Hmm.
um, the soil has just gotten very wet. Um, but our summers are usually pretty dry and nice, and the temperatures can go to 100 degrees. We do get heat waves here. Um, Fall is absolutely gorgeous. Looking at the trees changing color, and it's like so beautiful. I love to go to wineries. There's some really nice wineries upstate New York, like
Yeah.
a 45-minute drive from where I live, and they have music, and they're really fun. They'll have music at them, and sometimes different like things going on. And it's just beautiful to be outside and really enjoying. Those temperatures will be, I would say, in like anywhere from maybe 65 to like 75 in the
That's
fall.
perfect. I mean, perfect temperature. Why not?
Perfect.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love it that you have the four seasons. So, I want to know a little bit about what you like to do outside of real
Mm.
estate. What are some of your hobbies or things that you like to do?
Okay. So I'm pretty social, right? Sometimes I'm very tired from
Obviously,
my calendar.
obviously.
Um, I like to work out, right? So exercise is super important to me. I started taking bar a few years ago and
Okay.
I just fell in love with it. So I take that at least 3 to 4 times a week, different bar classes and strength classes. I have a client who's a good friend and she teaches strength classes and cardio classes. I love to go walking.
Mhm.
I'm a big reader. I love to read. I try to have a book going at all times.
What are you
And
reading now? Anything good?
um, yes, what am I reading now? Hold on, I'm gonna grab my Kindle. Don't laugh at me because I'm terrible with names of things, but because I don't know, my memory just can't like ever remember anything. But this was actually a book that was in our book club, but I didn't get to finish it, so I like didn't go to the
Book
meeting.
club. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm in a book club and we meet once a month. So this is called Yellow Face. It's a
Okay.
very interesting book.
Okay.
Um, I love, and I just finished another really, really good book. It was called The Many Lives of Mama Love,
Okay.
and that was a book club book. A lot of my books that I do read are book club books, and it's it's actually been really good for me because it takes me out of some of the kind of like the softer, like easier reads and a little more thought
Yeah.
provoking.
Nice.
But reading is really enjoyable. I love to spend time with my friends and Steve, who is my ex-husband, my boyfriend now. That's, you
That's a
know,
story in itself. Can't
that's a
wait.
story we'll do another time. And my kids, I love having adult time with them. They're 27 and 23, almost 24. And it's I'm really lucky to have such a good relationship with my kids. And
And spend
um
time with them. And you said they
yeah.
live close by,
They
right?
both live in Hoboken, so yeah,
That's an easy train
yeah,
ride.
yeah. So, and I love to go for walks. I love to go for hikes. I love the beach. So in the summertime,
How
I
long
just
does it take you to get to the Jersey Shore?
would say it takes about
With
an
traffic or
hour,
without
an
traffic?
hour and a half. I guess you could say an hour and a half. I mean, if I go to Long Beach Island, it's about 2 hour drive because that's pretty
Yeah.
far down. But if the closest one, which would be like Long Branch. I could probably get to in an hour and 15.
Yeah, that's nice. So it's nice to have the beach so close, the Jersey Shore, yet you can get into New York. You can get, I mean, you're just like in a great location. It's
I
such,
am. I
such
feel
a
really blessed. Like people always say to me, what are you going to do when you retire? And first I say, I don't know if I'm ever retiring, right? Because
right.
I love what I do so much. And I joke with people. I say, you're going to see me, I'll be like 75, 80 years old with a cane showing houses, but I just love it. And I can't imagine living anywhere but here. It's I mean, first of all, I don't think I'd ever want to live far away from where my kids are because hopefully they'll make me a grandmother
Right.
one day. And I I don't know, it's just such a great area. So
It really is. It really
I love it
is.
here.
So, do you have any favorite local spots, whether it's a restaurant or areas that when somebody comes from another part of the country in that you suggest, like some of your favorite restaurants or
Well,
things
yes,
to do?
I do. So one of my clients opened a restaurant in Franklin Lakes in my town. It's called Paza. It's one of my favorite restaurants, and not
Okay.
just because I love the owner and think they're like terrific, but because the food is amazing and it's a BYOB, which is really nice. So you can bring your own. And I love to make drinks too. I'm very big into making cocktails. Um, and one thing I did forget to say, and what I love to do is I love to watch TV. I love a good Netflix, Apple, all those shows. I do little reviews sometimes on my Facebook page talking about
I
shows I
love
watch.
that.
So that's sort of a little side gig I do. But anyway, I back to like what you're asking me. So Paz is great. I love to take people into Ridgewood because I think Ridgewood's great. There's so many
Yeah.
nice restaurants there. Um, I guess it's really like what are people into? If you want to go for a hike, we'll go to Mawa and go hike the reservation. If
Mhm.
you want to go to a mall, we have lots of good malls, the Garden State Plaza, lots of shopping.
Lots of
Um,
shopping. And anyway, you could just go into New York and do shopping if you want to do
yeah,
shopping. And I think that that's the whole thing that people have to realize that you're in the suburbs, yet you can get to New York in no time. You can get to the Jersey Shore. So you have the
yeah,
best of all the worlds here. I mean, you
I
really do.
really do.
I mean, you're so lucky to be where you're at. It's just finding a house might be a little hard because of inventory,
Right.
but
That's the challenge is I wish that I mean, I'm working with a lot of buyers right now, and it's funny because it sort of like goes, you want listings. That's really the game right now because that's a surefire
right, of
way to get
course.
money.
Of
Buyers,
course.
it's a lot more difficult, spending a
Yes.
lot more time with them. But it's also a great way to build a relationship. But yes,
And the hunt is great. Don't you feel great after you find the hunt?
yeah,
Whether it's a property you find off market and you find for them and they're so excited. Yeah. So sometimes even though we do love our listings, sometimes it's great to have a challenge, right?
when
It
you get
challenges.
that call that you won that multiple offer, I actually had last year this couple I was working with, they were getting married in a few months and they
Yes.
found this home, we had lost a couple. They didn't really lose many, but they just felt like this was it. And so we
Went
really
all in, went
put
all in.
all in. And when the agent called to tell me, I actually burst into tears.
Oh,
I could not believe how emotional I got when she told me that they got the house. I mean, I don't think I've ever like felt that when I called them and we were just all crying, it just felt so good.
and
That
rewarding. And
it
what I
was.
see about you is you have such a big heart and your clients become like your family and you are just like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want to give them that experience that because you had such a bad experience
yeah.
buying a house that you want to just give them the best possible experience and coming from your background in TV and producing and all that kind of stuff always gives some great nuggets there. So I have
Yeah,
another question for you and this one
okay.
is talking about travel. So do you have something on your bucket list that you want to see or places that you've been that you love? Because I always think this is a really interesting question because it does tell a lot of personality about someone. So fire away.
Okay.
Let's go.
So I'm actually leaving on Sunday for a big trip. I'm going to Amsterdam. And we're doing a riverboat cruise. So we're going like,
Are you gonna see the tulips at
yeah,
Coffin Hospital? Oh my
which
God.
are my
Oh,
favorite flower in the whole world.
oh
And the
girl, you're gonna love
only
it.
re- and the only reason I'm actually going on a trip in the middle of a spring market, I just got a call today from like somebody that wants to give me a referral for a listing, and I'm like, okay, okay, I'll call you back.
And then you're like,
um,
we'll figure it out.
yeah, but I am so excited that this is a trip that Steve and I have been looking forward to for a long time. And I'm super excited to explore Amsterdam and Holland and Brussels and Belgium, and just I'm going to the Anne Frank Museum, and
Yes.
it's so
You got it. You actually got an appointment there. I mean, you got a ticket
we do.
because it's
Yeah,
really hard. Like you have to do like 3 months in advance.
the day
Okay.
we fly in, we go that afternoon. So yeah, we
Nice.
have it, and yeah, and I really want to go to Paris. I've never been.
Okay.
Um, I I want to see a lot more of our country. I don't think I've seen enough of the United States.
Yes.
So at some point I do want to do a little bit more of that. I really want to go to Greece.
I'm
So
going to
that's
Greece. Yes. Greece is amazing. Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of travel. I love to travel. I've never been to Hawaii. I've been to Italy. Italy is one of my favorite places in the world. I've been there
Mhm.
twice.
Yes.
And my daughter studied there, and
Oh,
I
nice.
went
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I went there first on my honeymoon, and then second when I went to visit her. And just that's a beautiful country.
Yeah, and what I would say, so I've been to Koffenhof. So my husband's from Belgium, so I've spent a lot of time in Belgium. We can chat offline on that.
Okay.
And seeing the tulips was on my bucket list, and we probably did it like 8 or 9 years ago. It was incredible, and you will just be in awe. I mean, it will just be so incredible. And hopefully you're going to not only Brussels, but I hope you're going to Bruges too as well, because
We are.
Bruges is amazing. Oh yeah, Bruges is amazing. So
Yeah.
you going on that river cruise is amazing. So what I see is a lot of people love Europe and they love that European touch. And it just goes into your personality too, because you're always caring about people. You're giving them that experience. Like you're a
Yeah.
type of person that you're more about experiences than materialistic stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's important in choosing an agent, because she's going to go full force in for you like you did with those first time home buyers that were getting married, and your emotions just came out afterwards. And I just
Yeah.
really
It
love
was
that.
it's like, I mean, I really do. I feel so strongly with the clients I work with. To me, obviously we do this because we need to make a living, right? We need to pay our bills. We want
Yes,
to
of
have
course, of course.
financial security in our
Yes,
life. But we do it because, or at least for me, like I'm doing it because I'm building relationships with people. I'm building trust. I'm building that. I hope that when somebody says, how was your experience selling your home or buying a home, that they say, you know what, our agent was there
100% for you.
150% of the
Yeah,
time. And
exactly, 150%.
yeah,
So,
and she
yeah,
went full force. And that's just, I think, when I give a gift for my clients, I really think about it. I really think about what they would want. I don't just, you know,
you
throw
go
them a gift
that
card and
extra
say,
step
see you
and you give
later.
them that surprise and delight customer experience
Yeah,
that they deserve. I mean, everybody deserves that, but you're giving
everybody
them an
does.
experience of, because most people, the biggest investment in their lives is purchasing a home, right?
Yeah,
And don't you want somebody that cares about you and cares about you getting that best price, or
right.
selling and getting the best price? You want someone that is your advocate, and you want someone like yourself. So, with
And you
that being
too.
said,
I mean, you too, Mary Ellen. I'm
we're
sure your
all about, I
clients
mean,
are
and
like
that's
so
why,
lucky to have you. You are top
I
notch.
mean, we're always trying to surprise and delight everybody, whether it's our referral partners, whether it's and remember, like Jamie and I can help you anywhere in the world. If you want to buy
That's
a
right.
property in Italy, we have connections and we have people like ourselves that can
That's
connect
right.
you and give you the same experience that you're going to have here in the States. If you want to go to Costa Rica, you want to go to Germany, you want to go to Belgium, you want to go there. So that's why you want to go to Asia. I mean, I have clients that are from Hong Kong, and they buy multiple properties from me, and I've had a relationship with them for 15 plus years, and we just buy
Wow.
properties And when they come into Atlanta, we visit with them. But they've referred us so many people of their friends in Asia. So like we
That's
deal with
amazing.
people all around the world, and we build the trust for them. So
Yeah.
if there's anything else you'd like to add, like do you want to tell another story about what was a rewarding real
I
estate
have a, I have a,
transaction
I
for
have
you?
a funny story actually.
Okay,
So
that's
I will say this. When when I went back to my high school reunion, one of my friends brought their yearbook, right?
okay.
So, we pull it up and we're all like looking at the pictures and the stuff, and then we look at the last will and testament. I don't know if you had that in yours. So
Yeah.
in my last will and testament, I wrote, when I grow up, I'm going to marry an older man, have 2 kids, and work in real estate.
No way. How crazy is that? That is
And I didn't even
insane.
like remember saying that, which is so bizarre, you
Which is
know?
so interesting too, because most people know, everybody that's in real estate, you're always like, well, what did you want to be when you grew up? And no one ever said real estate. Like, and that's so funny that you said real estate. And here you
I don't
are
know why I said that.
being in television, being a producer in television, having those type of experiences, and then doing
I
this.
don't even know why I wouldn't have written the TV part in it, that I wrote the real estate. So it's so bizarre, but that's kind of funny to like see that that's where how I landed in my life. But um, 2 kids, real estate, older man, but it's all
There you
good.
go.
Um, and a funny story with clients. Oh my God, there's just so many. I mean, I'm trying to think of just like one.
You can't. That's the whole thing, and that's what's like, we also, as real estate professionals, we also have terrible, horrible transactions that are not even sometimes in our control. We work so hard to make it a good experience, and
Yeah.
sometimes you're just not gonna have that experience you want, but I know that we will do everything in our power to make sure you have a great experience,
We
so
do. And not everybody, there are just some people in life, no matter what you do, you're never going to please them. So
make them
you have
happy.
to say, I know it's not me. Like I did everything I could, but that person they're just not happy with their life. And it's okay. It's unfortunate. Um, I feel really blessed that like I have the career I have and the connections that I do. And, one thing I made a promise to myself was that when my kids grew up and I had more time, that I was going to start to try to give more of myself to others. And like yesterday, so I joined a committee with our board this year, and I'm on
Mhm.
like the Helping Hands, which gives back to communities. So yesterday, I spent the whole morning packing boxes of food for
Yes, and it just
underprivileged,
makes you feel
and
so good. Yes.
I I mean, it was like labor, we're like down and we're packing it, and you're looking at the food that you're giving these people, and it's like, you just say to yourself, no matter how hard sometimes life is, whatever it is, maybe you don't get that client, you lose a listing, you lose a buyer. I have food in the fridge and in my pantry. I have a home, I have a roof over my head, and
What I always
um,
say, roof over your head and food in your pantry. Like, what more can you ask for? And we do a lot of things too with our community. We do a lot of blessing baskets, and we do them like Thanksgiving, Christmas time, and then before the summertime. And we do it with locally with the elementary schools, and
yeah,
we talk with the counselors, and they're the ones that know what's going on. Like a lot of families that you would think, even if you live in an affluent area, there's people going through divorce, and kids lose their parents, through death or whatever. And just being a blessing and just giving that
yeah.
extra touch and getting the community involved. I love that. So I love that
I
about you.
I I have to say, like, it made me feel so good to do that, and it's not about someone saying, "Oh, that you're so great, Jane." It's not that. Like, I
No,
don't. It's not for anybody to say that to me. It's about, let's like look at what we have, and really, when you can, you have to take care of
yes,
people that need
yeah,
help.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Well, I totally enjoyed speaking with you, and I just adore you. And this has
Oh,
been so much fun. So I just want everybody to see, like, if you're ever looking for anyone in Bergen County, that whole area, this is the girl you need to go see.
thank
And these
you.
videos are going to be used to send to people or whatever, and you can use them however you want. But I just wanted everybody to really get to know you. And we're like, I felt like we know so much more about each other, and our
Yeah.
viewers know so much more about each other. So anything to add before we end this?
Mary Ellen, I think that you are a really special person. I mean, meeting you in Vegas at family reunion, and just like I think from the minute we met each other, we felt like we knew each other.
I know, isn't
And
that incredible? Like when you meet someone and you connect with someone and you're just
yeah,
like, I feel like I've known you for years and years and years. And
yeah,
because we have like the same values. And I think
right.
when you are looking for that professional with the biggest investment of your life, you need to find somebody like yourself. So when I refer people, I'm always finding someone that's like just like me, a
Like
carbon
you, right?
copy,
Like
but in a different area, you know?
right. Like my daughter's friend from college lives moved to Georgia. He's working there, and now I'm gonna be like, hey, listen, David,
When
if
you're
you're gonna be
ready.
like looking to buy something, you got to call Mary Ellen.
Yeah,
Like, and
exactly.
he'll listen to me.
Exactly.
So it's just, you want that. But I think it's hard to just, when you build these referral networks, it's not just about saying, oh, well, they're a big, they sell a lot of homes. You want
No.
to know the person that you're actually referring and making sure that they truly feel and are going to do the same things that you do for your clients. And
Yes.
I
It's
totally
so
know
important.
that you're that
That's why I
person.
always tell everyone, please, like, reach out to me. If I can't handle that area, I'm gonna find someone like me. And that's what
Yeah.
someone like me in Croatia, someone like me in Germany, someone like me in Asia or Costa Rica, or who wants to go to the beach towns, who wants to live in, the Bahamas or something. We can help you there. So I think
Isn't that
everybody needs
amazing?
to know that as well, that we're such a great network. Well, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure, and we will talk with you soon. Take
Thank
care.
you so much.